So continuing on with this game, which is working itself up to be a fairly long one, but an action-packed one nonetheless. And despite whatever advantages I can talk about, keep in mind that the biggest advantage, or more actually disadvantage in Dota, is being down a lane. And the next closest thing to that is being down one of your base towers. But so despite you could make some arguments as to who's ahead, and the Scourge may have a pretty strong lead because of the ridiculous farm on their Kunkka. However, they have not really used that to push, and I mean, you can have all the lead in the world, but if you never push, then what's it going to come to? So the Alchemist goes down to the fantastic initiation powers of the Sentinel, and they're not stopping there. They're charging forth against this Kunkka, who is in a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble. And actually, he's still going beyond godlike, so I take it back. This Kunkka is invincible. Nothing can kill him except a range creep. A range creep ends Kunkka's beyond godlike streak, and that is the saddest thing I've seen in a while. And the Witch Doctor was about to die, but he ghost sceptered himself, and this Lion has stunned the Slardar and is trying to escape. He does have his Blink Dagger up. But yeah, this Slardar's in some serious trouble. Stormseer's actually bought back. And the Witch Doctor's coming in from behind to kill this Lion, and he might get him, but more likely the Potom will kill him. And down he goes, but the Stormseer does zip in for a kill on the line, and he's now going for the stupid Mirana, who's actually been sheeped, and he's zipping in even more. Mirana pops her BKB, however, that does not stop Stormspirit, and one more zip. Come on, Stormspirit, you had the mana. Where was the zip? Oh, no. He doesn't get her, but Scourge actually pushed this tower. Holy fuck, 4 catapults. That's kind of ridiculous. So they might even do some pretty good damage to this base tower. And the referees are saying comeback, but I don't think it was that much of a comeback, because they never really lost their base towers or anything that important, and they always had fantastic initiation throughout. Their problem was just Kunkka was taking shits all over them the entire time. But that battle, they started off with initiating against the Alchemist very well, and they moved on from him to the Kunkka, and unfortunately they couldn't finish the Kunkka off. I'm not sure if he Lothars'd and Viz'd, and they didn't have anyone carrying a dust to see him, but they did eventually kill him, but not before the Kunkka really did a lot of damage in that fight. And now Sentinel is taking out this tower, and if they can take out this lane of Raxes, then I think the game is certainly in their favor if they can pull this off. However, the glyph has gone down. Keep in mind there's still... Oh, the ridiculous creep wave bottom got turned away. And they're running away from the bottom and Venge and whomever else happens to be around. So yeah, we'll see if... I'm just trying to check, see if anyone's any new... Ooh, Puck has actually picked himself up in a Mystic Staff, and I think earlier I said he would never, ever finish that sheep stick in a million years. However, it has been a million years since then. Well, maybe not quite, but close. And it does look like he's going to finish up that sheep stick, and that's going to be a really big ticket item for his team. The amount of disable on his team is quite potent. With him having a sheep stick, Stormsuit having sheep stick, the AoE stuns of the Sven and the Slardar, and their fantastic initiation. I mean, BKBs are great, but a great counter to a BKB... Actually, I want to mention this. Despite Kunkka's ridiculous farm, he never bought himself a BKB. Kunkka. So Kunkka just has Sheep Me written all over him in absolutely huge letters. So Kunkka's just basically going to be doing nothing in his team fights. I think that was a bit of a ball drop on the part of Kunkka, and never getting a BKB. I mean, it's really not an optional item. I'm sorry, Kunkka, but you need a BKB. Because, well, fuck, he's just going to get disabled. So, the Marina is working himself towards an Eagle Horn. But I don't think that's going to do much good. Stormsphere is farming like a maniac. Now that he has tons of mana, he feels like using it. But Scourge is lining up for another push. The earlier push did take out the tower. So the Rax is vulnerable. But they could easily be turned away. We will see how it plays out. And also, where's Puck? So Puck is not going to have his sheep stick for this battle, which is unfortunate. But we can look to see Kunkka just being neutralized completely. I think the key to Sentinel's success is getting off a good chain stun against Kunkka. And it's hard to coordinate a good chain stun in a heated team battle like what's about to break out, but it's very important, I think, for them. So Stormspirit has zipped in, and with the help of Slardar, they are going in on the Potom, and they are taking out... No, the Potom zips away before she dies, and she is invis. And this Storm Spirit is in a lot of trouble from the line. I don't know, he has zipped away in time, and Kunkka is chasing down the Slardar. He's X-Marks has spotted him, but Slardar is being blink swapped away. It's even hard to follow. Slardar was just bouncing all over the place, but he has gone down to a Tidebringer Slash from the Kunkka. And it does look like Scourge is going to pick off a rack, so this puts Sentinel at a very large disadvantage, but not insurmountable. But at this point in the game, they really need to do a counter push, because sitting with a lane down, their chances of winning the game are, at this point, once you're down a lane, your chances of winning the game just really start to decrease as time goes on. However, the Kunkka was a bit aggressive and chose to go for another lane, and he died because of it. And he's taking this Venge with him, and now the Lion is going to be stunned perhaps by the Alchemist, or he actually goes for the Puck instead. And, oh my goodness, the Storm Spirit's still around at very low life. What are you doing, Storm Spirit? Run, run, run! The Alchemist has his Blade Mail, which I didn't notice him picking up until now, but he does have a Blade Mail active. And the Storm Spirit's at quite low life, but the Puck gets actually the Witch Doctor of all people gets the kill. So, despite Sentinel losing a lane of axes, they did get more hero kills there. And oh my goodness, holy farm on the Puck. He surely has his sheepstick now with that ridiculous amount of creeps he just killed. And Storm Spirit's actually picked up a gem, which might be a bit surprising, and they're using it to counterward like a champ. The Sven's picked himself up a Vitality Booster for a little bit of extra staying power. Yeah, and he also has BKB, so he's a pretty durable kind of guy. And there's the Void Stone for the sheepstick of the Puck, just being fairies to him. The Potom, it was unfortunate for her that she did not have a Butterfly for that fight, because the difference between an Eagle Horn and a Talisman of Evasion and a Butterfly is just absolutely huge. It's like another 35 damage and 35 attack speed combined with some extra evasion, all for the low price of just 900 gold, the quarterstaff. It's a really gigantic difference. But no doubt she will. Does she have the 900 gold? No, she's trying to farm herself up that gold, and she really needs to get that 900 gold. And Venge is certainly not going to be taking creep kills away from her at this important juncture in her farm. So Sentinel, they might be trying to push mid slowly. Keep in mind that they've got the buffer creeps to deal with. There's Puck with his sheepstick there. Oh, I didn't notice Puck getting Boots of Travel, but indeed he does have Boots of Travel, which is, it's usually very common to shift to Boots of Travel in this late game to enable you to be a very flexible pusher and defender at the same time. And it frees you up from having to carry around TP scrolls too, saves an item spot. So the Potom is farming up. She'll probably buy her quarterstaff at the side shop since they are available there. And right now, quarterstaff, go, go, go. There it is. Ooh, Scourge maybe in a bit of trouble. Oh, there's a Roshan up. I didn't really notice him respawning. So the Roshan, and this is the Cheese Roshan too, so quite a bit on the line here. Puck's freed himself of an item spot by dropping his magic wand. And Kunkka gets off a nice little boat, or a torrent I should say. And oh my goodness, all hell is breaking loose. The Alchemist ramboed in, he's BKB, he's dropped his poison, but it does not help his team too much. Kunkka, where is Kunkka? Kunkka is sheep because he does not have a BKB, and is being stunned. We'll see how effective the chain stun is against him. He has been stunned again, and he's at low life. He gets off one good Tidebringer slash at the end there, but now he's promptly died. The Alchemist is falling down. There is... oh my goodness, this is madness. This is Spartus. Sentinel is just rambling all over the place. They picked off the Potom. And the Storm Spirit is rumbling around, and I'm just trying to find the Cheese slash Aegis. I sort of missed who picked those up in the madness. I think the Cheese might have actually been used in the middle of the fight. And depending on how many buybacks the Scourge team has, this could be the end of the game. Because if they are not in position to defend against the remaining heroes on the Sentinel team pushing, then they will probably lose 2 axes. It's all 70 seconds before the Potom comes back, 40 for the Alchemist and 30 for the Venge. So this Witch Doctor bravely leads the push. The tower is going down. I don't know if their glyph is up or not. I guess not, since they probably would have used it. Kunkka is just lurking, hoping to get a Tidebringer slash, but he doesn't want to go in alone because he would die. Actually, there's the Lion, and the Lion's just going to die in a second. There goes the Lion. The Kunkka, he has been disabled a couple times. Oh, the Sven had Nagus, although it is gone now. But the Kunkka falls down because of his lack of a BKB. And that's the game, I'd have to say. Because this Rax goes down, and there's a whole bunch of creeps bottom lane to take out the bottom Rax. Look at all those creeps. Holy creep wave, Batman. And so a bit of a turnaround for the Sentinel, thanks to some good base tower defenses, etc., etc. The last quite a few team fights won, and again the referees agree. I mean, Kunkka no BKB, and then sort of a disappointed face. I think that was a very large mistake on the part of the Kunkka. As Alchemist rambling, but I mean this is just cleanup at this point in the game. I think they can take him out. Slider actually stuns him while his BKB is on, and so the Alchemist falls down. At this point, the game's on. Well, the game is over just because the Scourge really can't come in. They're sort of all spread out and they're respawning at inconvenient times and then just getting picked off. So Sentinel's picked up 2 lanes, and I mean Scourge isn't totally out of the game at this point, but they really need to revive together, get coordinated, and do an all-mid push. And if Potom dies here, then that's terrible. Potom cannot afford to die here. She really needs to wait for the Kunkka to resurrect and come back with him. She's going for a kill on the Storm Spirit, and she gets it, but at what cost, I ask you? At what cost? It costs her her life. And I think she would have been better off waiting, how long? About 20 more seconds, 10 now, for the Kunkka to come back, and the line falls down. And I don't know, I think Scourge has just been marching it one by one. I think if they had just waited, I mean, they had these 2 towers. They could have waited a little while to defend them, just hung back here very cautiously and waited for the Kunkka and everyone, and done a final defense together. But now they're just fucked. I mean, this Kunkka's being disabled like crazy. And lack of a BKB spells his demise yet again. And the game's over now. The Kunkka's going to be out for too long. It's just, I don't know if they're going to throw in it or if it's going to be called before that. We will see. Actually, I'll just pause it because I can see the endgame screen now anyway. So that is it. The GG calls are out. And so I think Scourge did really have a lead, but the awesome initiating power of the Sentinel proved to be their demise, and there were some really interesting team fights this game, which is almost exactly an hour long, and I hope you enjoyed this match, and I don't think I have too much to say. I think one of the more unfortunate things was one of the pushes they made when Potom just didn't quite have her butterfly yet. That might have been a small mistake. It might have been a better idea just to wait a little while for her to finish the butterfly, but the biggest mistake of all was definitely, I think, the Kunkka not getting his BKB. In any event, I just said it in any event again, and I am absolutely positive I will not say that again this match because it is the end. Thank you for watching. Keto see over now.